All right, everybody, welcome to Game 2 of Day 2 from the Pro Series Power Showcase 13 and Under World Championship here at Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg, Florida. Our Game 2 features the Furia Rip Cities versus the Rawlings Tigers. Tigers are the home team. Aiden Valente pitching for the Tigers. Stepping into the plate today for Rip City is Braden Vachon. Braden Vachon, the second baseman today for Rip City. I'm Garrett Guthrie along with Mikey Paris. We are Stream Live Tampa.
Absolutely delighted to be here.
First pitch to Vachon is a ball. Ball 2. Braden Vachon, a native of Alabama. Plays both middle infield positions, plays some outfield. 5'1", 105. That one's up as well, 3-0.
Furia Rip City Raiders dropped their first game yesterday 10-2 to the Florida Dodgers. Got off to a slow start, but then started to calm down and put some hits together. So let's see if they can continue after their last strong 3 innings from yesterday.
Stay hot. All right, that is ball 4. And Rip City has their first runner, Vachon, aboard. That'll bring up Nick Smith, today's designated extra hitter.
Rawlings Tiger Black fell 6-4 to the Florida Dodgers yesterday in a very good tight ball game.
Smith, a 5'5", 130-pound right-hander. That'll be strike 1. Mikey and I, along with our general, Javier Nunez, managing the soundboard and all the cameras for us today. Javier,
Technical wizard.
The founder of Stream Live Tampa. Stream Live about to enter their 3rd year broadcasting high school sports throughout the Tampa Bay area.
Anyone local or anyone that had come down and saw the weather in St. Pete besides the humidity and decided to move to Florida, if you're local around the Tampa area, get Stream Live Tampa. Do your baseball, softball, wrestling, get into a little pro wrestling around town.
Xavier Rodriguez hauls in that catch for the first out of the game.
If there's Wi-Fi, we can stream it.
Yeah, did some high school basketball and softball and baseball last year.
I had more fun doing softball games than I ever thought I would imagine watching these girls play locally.
Fun sport. It's so fast. I enjoy the game of softball.
Absolutely.
We're primarily the baseball website, but I always try to sneak out and see a softball game. Just such great softball in the Hillsborough and Pinellas counties. That ball misses. 1-0 to Luis Castillo, the catcher today for Furia Rip City. That ball's inside, 2-0. Braden Vachon off of first base. Pitch away. Vachon attempts to steal. Great throw there from Tucker Rudd. Gets Vachon for the second out of the inning.
Cuts him down on a bang-bang play at second. Strong throw from the catcher.
Saw a few comments on Facebook. Yeah, as we mentioned during last games, if you hear a pause in our broadcast, it's usually a copyright issue. We're not allowed to play music and
including the national anthem, believe it or not.
So 3-0 count here to Luis Castillo. Ball 4. Catcher will take his base. I would imagine it'll be courtesy run for. Maybe not. No, looks like he's going to run his bases. I like it.
We appreciate you guys that are watching along with other fans that are aware of our sound situation, letting them know on there. Thank you very much. Dustin Carter, Tara Rudd, TJ Davis, chiming in on Facebook. We appreciate your viewership.
Well, Castillo took his gloves off and looked like he was going to be running, but they do bring in a courtesy runner, number 11 for him.
Got to get over there and get on those tools of ignorance.
Reginald Samuel II steps in. Reggie Samuel.
Samuel.
Samuel, excuse
There
me.
you go. Just like the good old
Juan Samuel.
Juan Samuel.
Reggie will be the pitcher today for Rip City. And he awaits the 1-0 offering from Valente. That is a strike. 1-1. Ball is low.
Third base coach for the Raiders looking for a balk there. He's
Claiming he wasn't set. I
kind of rushed through to the plate. We've seen, I believe, 6 balks now.
I think he just sets really low and
Just have to remember
expect
to
him
get
to come
that
up.
pause.
Yeah, the roster they turned in, last names weren't pressed really hard in the triplicate, but runner at first base, his first name is Peter. I don't have a last name on him yet. But we'll try to get that for you. 3-1 count here to Reggie Samwell. He takes a big cut but sends it foul into the seats.
Ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you return all foul balls to either the first and third base dugouts. Once again, please return all foul balls to either the first and third base dugouts. Thank you.
So 3-2 is the count as we run down the pinch courtesy runner.
That ball's likely going to find the seats as well, and it does, right behind the first base dugout. Stays full.
This was a fun one yesterday for me, so I'll let you take a crack at it.
I'm going to say that's Safkianos.
Oh, no, not that one. Oh, yeah, there you go. I don't know. I think it may be. We'll let him say it if he comes up to the plate. It's a tough one. It's obviously, I believe, Greek. Get that SF. There, we'll spell it for you. Sfakianos.
And he takes off to second on the full count, but strike 3 for Aiden Valente. 2 walks in the inning, but 1 erased on the throw down to second base on a caught stealing, and the other one left stranded aboard. No score, no hits, no errors in the top of the first. We'll be back. Stream Live Tampa from Tropicana Field and the Pro Series Power Showcase 13 and Under World Series. right, we're back for the home half of the first inning. Took a little bit of a delay there as the home plate umpire, Will Kistler, went out and had the pitcher Reggie Samwell remove some wrist tape on his arms. Leading off here for the Tigers will be Jeffrey Schwab, the center fielder.
Correction on the Schwab is number 7 today, the black jersey.
Our umpires are Will Kistler behind home plate. First base will be Will Gallant. Josue Torres at second base. And
Josue Torres. Got it, Jose.
Jared Neal.
It's going to stay in, but can anybody reach it?
A long run for the first baseman. Yeah, that would have been a tough play for the first baseman, Brennan Niles. 1-2 count to the leadoff hitter, Jeffrey Schwab, for the Rawlings Tigers. Rawlings Tigers black. Interesting, I don't know if you caught the first couple warm-up pitches for Samwell, as that ball's lined into right field, over the right fielder's heads, going for extra bases, probably 3. Schwab is on his horse, and he's into third base very easily. Nice way to start the game for your team with a big stand-up triple into right field. But interesting to watch Samwell warm up his first couple pitches. Started behind the mound and almost crow hopped into the pitcher to get his arm a little loose after a couple, having the at bat and everything. But an interesting thing you don't see very often. That'll bring up the catcher, Tucker Rudd. Tucker had that big caught stealing in the top half of the first. Now he has a chance to give his team an early lead with Jeffrey Schwab standing 90 feet away. Rudd from Mississippi.
Had one hit yesterday.
Catcher, third baseman, 5'10", 150. That ball is up, 1-1.
Game 2 of our day today will be 2 other games this afternoon and early this evening. We finished up yesterday just before 8 o'clock.
Rudd calls time, steps out. 1-1 count here to the catcher, Tucker Rudd. Reggie Samwell pitching to Luis Castillo. That's the battery for the Furia Rip City.
Early threat here.
2-1. 31, excuse me.
So Tucker Rudd awaits the 3-1. That's going to get in the runner and then some as it skips past the shortstop.
We give him the RBI, but it's going to be an E6 for Rudd.
Xavier Rodriguez could not come up with that.
They will pinch run or courtesy run for the catcher.
Early lead for the Tigers.
Courtesy runner at first base is Eric Abbott for the Tigers. So I'm seeing it is Samuel, not Samwell from, thank you, Danny.
Appreciate it. You told me yesterday.
Connor Simpson. 2-0 to Connor Simpson, left-handed hitter.
That's why I brought Jared Guthrie in. He keeps me straight.
Oh, that people on the Facebook keeping us both straight today. I like that.
We need the help, absolutely.
A little bit of help.
Please do.
Goes a long way. We'll take it anytime. Connor Simpson, the extra hitter today, one of the extra hitters for the Rawlings Tigers black.
I've lived with 4 or 5 women over the course of my life, and I'm used to being corrected.
Oh, just tell me what to do. I'm all for it. Connor Simpson takes the 4-pitch walk, 2 aboard. Here in the bottom of the first, Rawlings Tigers already taking a 1-run lead. We're having a little bit of scoreboard issues. It's -2 to, there it is, -2 to -1. No, we still haven't fixed it. Everybody's in training today. There we go. Scoreboard's right. 1 hit, 1 error, 1 run.
If you're a scoreboard company, why would we even have the option to make a negative score on there? I'm sure there's something that I'm unaware of.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. Ooh. Catches the bottom of the strike zone, says the umpire. Ethan Jones, the first baseman, hitting for the Tigers. 2 men aboard, no outs. Oh, that ball's up and in, and Jones ducks underneath it, gets the bat out of the way. Jones, 6'1", 195. Cuts an imposing figure there in the right-handed batter's box. Got a big gap there in left center if he wants to put one out there.
Just misses down.
Yeah, Samuel tries to paint the corner there, and the umpire wasn't biting. 2-1 to Ethan Jones. Samuel turns around and chases back the runner to second. Neither of the defenders covered, but
Courtesy look.
Good frame job, but 3-1 just outside. Jones will pick one out if he likes it. Foul ball. Full count.
All sorts of room on the left side of the infield to get one through as well as the shortstop continues to try to keep the runner honest at second.
Lots of gaps on the left side. Bases are loaded. So the Tigers are threatening here with no outs in the bottom of the first inning. Clearly this is the tall part of their lineup as number 96, Landon Serrano, the third baseman, will step to the plate. Going to get a quick visit from the pitching coach for Furia Rip City. I'll talk to Samwell and see if we can't calm him down a little bit with the bases loaded here.
Coached by Chabby Pizarro, Q Trotman, and Peter Pizarro are the Raiders, as they have players from Louisiana, Alabama, and Texas on their roster. See if he can get Samuel calmed down a little bit. Get that first out of the inning.
Landon Serrano here with an opportunity with no outs, bases juice. 6'3", 147, 14-year-old from Florida.
Had a walk and a ground out yesterday.
Swings at the first pitch and fouls it straight back behind us. If you're looking from center field, you can see Mikey Paris and my lovely mug hanging out right behind home plate. Best seats in the house.
Absolutely.
Hits that one hard, but a foul ball, says Jared Neal, our third base umpire.
Screaming past the bag. A loud strike by Serrano.
And that's good for Rip City there, because if that had gone fair, probably would have been a couple runs.
At least.
0-2 count. Swings hard and sends it back foul again behind us. He's on it. He's on it.
So still 0-2 for Serrano. A very important game for both these teams after losing yesterday. Samuel to the plate.
Hard hit into center field. Malachi Perez can't make the play. Runner held up at first base to see where it would land, so runners on first and second, but that brings in 2 runs.
The longest single in the history of Tropicana Field, possibly.
But that gives the Tigers an early 3-0 advantage here in the first inning.
Runner at first had to be sure. There's a possibility that Perez was going to pull that in, and he was thinking that he would tag up from first to get to second. So Serrano ends up with a single.
Xavier Rodriguez for his first at-bat of the day. Still no outs. 3-0 advantage to the Tigers. Ball in the dirt outside, 1-0. Rodriguez made a nice play on a fly ball in the top half of the first inning at short. That ball's up and in, 2-0.
Trying to get that first out. Sometimes that's the toughest one to get.
Ball's low, 3-0.
Jared, did you watch any of the Olympic baseball?
I did. In all kinds of strange hours of the early morning.
Absolutely.
But I did. Some excellent stuff. We got to see a couple Rays players there. That's a 4-pitch walk to Xavier Rodriguez. Some good action all around. I've enjoyed a lot of the
What made me
Olympics
think of that is all the foul balls we're having here. In Japan, on foul balls, they have a beeper to warn the fans.
Yep.
I thought it was very interesting.
And certainly interesting to see the softball played on the baseball field.
Yeah, it's kind of disappointing.
Yeah, but part of the stipulation to get it in.
But the games were fantastic.
Exciting. Yeah, it was fun to watch for sure.
Florida State coach Lane Alameda got a bronze medal for coaching at Canada.
And University of South Florida head coach Ken Erickson.
That's right. With the silver.
We are making a pitching change here early for Furia Rip City. It'll be number 13. And we'll get you that name when we come back from this break. Nicholas Smith in to pitch in relief here for Rip City. Tough situation here to come in with the bases loaded. No outs. The Rawlings Tigers have a 3-0 advantage here. And Luciano Cesaro steps to the plate. Luciano, 6 foot 183, left-handed hitter. Chance to bust this game wide open.
See if Rip City can get that elusive first out. Ball fouled down the left field line and out of play.
And you can hear the ping all through the stadium. Here at Tropicana Field, home of the Tampa Bay Rays.
To continue to win.
A cool and comfortable 72 degrees here in the Trop.
Fantastic.
0-2 count. Swings over that one. There's that first out.
There we go.
Needed that one. Good way to come in for Nicholas Smith here. Team needed an out, and he got it right away. Good for him. That'll bring up Garrett Pierre, the second baseman. He fouls one just over the net here in home plate, behind home plate.
So 3 early across, 1 out, and 0-1 count.
That one's left up by Smith. Pierre ignores it. 1-1.
Tammy Serrano, AJ Kelly, Alberto Rios. Some kind words on Facebook. Thank you guys very much.
I appreciate you watching. Hits that one high. Right fielder was playing well over towards center. Can't get across the line to make that play. 1-2. Pierre has another shot at it. Garrett from Indiana. Like we said, playing second base, but also third baseman, shortstop, and outfielder. That ball's in. 2-2.
He took a
He
tick.
hit it. Okay. Umpire says it hit him. Got in the RBI. That makes it 4-0 for the Rawlings Tigers Black. That'll bring up Matthew Plank, one of the extra hitters today for the Tigers. Bases loaded, 1 out.
Plank had a single yesterday.
Swings over a curveball there.
Wearing number 88 in those colors. Makes me think of Eric Lindros, hockey player.
That ball's up. 1-1.
So 3 or 4 players yesterday sporting the 42 of Jackie Robinson. It's fantastic.
Very nice. Great job there by the catcher. Luis Castillo gets the strike call. 1-2. Not saying it wasn't a strike. I'm just saying
He gets it.
he pulled it well into the strike zone to help the umpire out. Nice of him. That one is going to be tough to pull back in. So 2-2. That ball's in the dirt. 3-2. That'll fill it up. Bases loaded. 1 out here. 4 runs already across in the bottom of the first inning. Matthew Plank awaits the full count pitch. Jams him in, sends it foul. He'll get another shot at it. Strong throw in from the Tigers' assistant coach.
Be getting rotator cuff tomorrow.
Yeah, that hurt me watching him throw that. Oh, beautiful pitch, but just low. That'll walk in another run, making it 5-0. Plank picks up the RBI. Moves Xavier Rodriguez over to third base. Garrett Pierre takes second. It'll bring up AJ Shavara, the left fielder. AJ is what we had on the lineup card. The overhead announcer lists him as Alex, so maybe an Alex Jr. I don't know. Alex Shavara, 1 out, bases loaded. That ball is high, 1-0. Alex, 5'7", 140 pounds, from Illinois. Playing left field today. Also listed as a catcher as well as an outfielder.
Did some catching yesterday, absolutely.
Smith misses there, 3-0. Good pitch, 31. Another one to fill it up.
See if he can come all the way back now.
Nice job there by Nicholas Smith. Put 3 pitches in the same spot. Battled back after going down 3-0 and got the big second strikeout of this inning. Leaves the bases are still loaded, excuse me. And that'll bring up Max Cowler, another extra hitter today. That ball was a little in. That ball might drop. It's going to drop into center field to bring in at least one. Second runner coming in as the ball was overrun. So Max there with 2 RBIs as the runner was already in motion around third base. Runners on first and second, 2 outs. Big 2-out hit there for Max.
Perfectly placed by Max, right in between the shortstop and the center fielder.
Going to make another pitching change here for the Rip City.
Pitching change for Rip City now.
Hunter Dodson come in from right field to the mound.
Lefty. Getting it loose. Jared, did I ever tell you the time I hit a double off of Gary Sheffield?
You did tell me about it.
Oh, I thought I did.
And I would tell everybody about it every time if I did something like that.
What did we do, the HCC game together?
We did do an HCC game early in the season last
over in the Yankees complex. It was a good time. As a young man, Gary Sheffield from the area, played locally, played them basically all through Little League and through high school, and did not play Legion because he had to go make $1 quadrillion. But got a poke off of Gary Sheffield for a double once, and all my friends were the happiest people in the world that he finally retired, because every time he would pop onto the TV, I would remind them of that fact.
One of the many strong players who came out of Belmont Heights.
Unbelievable.
Little League, and then played for the legendary Billy Reed at Hillsborough High School. Drafted by the Brewers?
Milwaukee Brewers.
Spent some time
as
with
a shortstop.
The Padres, and of course won a world championship with the Yankees and the
Little
Marlins.
time with the Braves. But the guy will end up being in the Hall of Fame, over 500 home runs. May take a little while, but he's going to get in.
I agree. And he's had 2 sons last season that played at Tampa Prep High School locally, Noah and Jaden. Jaden graduated, and he's, I believe, off to Georgetown. And
Nice.
Noah's going to be a junior in high school.
So back to baseball.
The pitcher, Aiden Valente, he steps to the plate, probably pretty happy with a 7-run cushion the next time he goes back out on the mound. What do you think, Mikey?
I think he should fill up the zone repeatedly.
First pitch there from our new pitcher, Hunter Dodson, is a strike.
Dodson coming in and throwing strikes.
Peppering the zone, absolutely. Ooh, nice attempt by Castillo there to frame another one. Umpire wasn't biting that time. 1-2 count, still well ahead of him for the lefty, Dodson.
Johnny Sue Cummings, Nicole Hunter Kelly, and Melanie Graham Pierre rooting on the Tigers and Garrett. And for the lefty here.
Stays 1-2, 2 outs. Let's see if Dodson can get his team into the dugout and try to cut some of this big lead that the Tigers have taken on the Ripsy squad.
AJ Kelly, I hope your boss isn't watching today, because you're watching from work. But we appreciate you doing it. Done it many times, for especially the NCAA tournament. When you have that pesky job in the way in the afternoons.
It's always getting in the way of my sports watching. I feel
Exactly right.
2-2 count to the 12-hole hitter and starting pitcher, Aiden Valente. Three and two.
Here's a 3-2 now.
And he swings over that one. Saves our scorebook page.
Says you. But that will finish the inning. 7 in the first. We go to the top of the second. Jared Guthrie and Mikey Paris for Stream Live Tampa. We'll be right back. Back at Tropicana Field, Jared Guthrie, Mikey Paris going to the top of the second now in a 7-0 ball game. Rawlings Tiger Black with the early big lead. I'll throw it over to Jared Guthrie for the play-by-play.
The battery of pitcher Aiden Valente and Tucker Rudd probably pretty confident coming back out here for the top of the second after that big 7-run inning.
Hezekiah Rodriguez now.
Rodriguez swings at the first pitch he sees. Third baseman Landon Serrano settles under it, makes the catch. One away here in the second.
Brandon Schwab, the coach of the Rawlings Tiger Black squad, along with James Rigdon. And Dennis Simpson, who I believe we saw make that fireball throw back in off the foul ball.
Malachi Perez, the center fielder, steps into the left-hander's batter's box. First pitch, a strike from Aiden Valente.
Sporting those lucky sevens. 77 on the mound.
Perez steps back slightly, but that ball catches all of the zone. 0-2.
Here's the 0-2 pitch.
One and two. Valente did have a strikeout to end the top of the first. Did have 2 walks in the inning. Rip City still looking for their first hit of the game. Perez, a native of Texas, plays some middle infield as well as center field. Breaking ball there. Valente can't make the play. Xavier Rodriguez probably should have just put that in his pocket, but he doesn't. And
runner didn't advance.
Runner doesn't go anywhere. Perez stays at first base.
With the catcher running down on the backup. Kids watching at home. Nobody on base. Catcher can back up first base.
Rule that one an error. Antoine Daniels, the shortstop, looking to get his team going a little bit here in the second inning. One away, runner on first. Daniels looks at strike one. 6'1", 135-pound Alabama native.
That pitch was exactly where every pitch should be on the first pitch to a batter when you have a 7-0 lead.
Mm-hmm. Fill the zone, let him swing at it. Slide into left. Shavara underneath and makes the catch.
So 2 down now.
Braxton Bullock. No, excuse me. The defensive changes from the pitcher. Braxton, oh, it is Braxton Bullock.
Yes,
correction. The roster had him as 1, now it's 10. So you got to make the adjustments on the fly here, Mikey.
Correct your correction.
And then the scoreboard has the other Braxton on the team, Braxton Spohn.
We're doing the best we can here, folks.
Yeah, so.
Always tough when you have big rosters coming down to a place where people are not familiar with the players, so we're doing the best we can.
Different teams every game, yep. But Braxton Bullock here, the left fielder. The runner aboard and 2 outs. And the scorer is now correcting that to a hit to the pitcher, so some friendly scoring. Nice frame job there by Rudd.
I had put a single in there to begin with, just how it
Tough
clicked
play
off
for
the
the
pitcher's
pitcher,
glove, and once it got past that, then it was a hit all day.
And he broke down like he was expecting it to come a little harder at him, but it didn't. And
Just ticked off the glove.
yep. So he was flat-footed. Runner goes, but strike 3 does not matter. Looks at strike 3 for the third out. 1 hit in the inning, but runner is left stranded. Rawlings Tigers have a 7-0 lead as we head to the bottom of the second. We're Stream Live Tampa coming from Tropicana Field in the Pro Series Power Showcase World Championship. We'll be back in a minute.
Back here at Tropicana Field, Mikey Parrish and Jared Guthrie in a 7-0 ball game with Rawlings Tiger Black back to the plate to get after it here in the bottom of the second. Take it away, Jared.
Hunter Dodson, who came in and got that big strikeout to end that long inning for his team, returns to the mound, and he'll face off against the leadoff hitter, Jeffrey Schwab. That ball gets away, thrown away by the third baseman. That'll allow Schwab to reach and get an extra base. So Schwab, who started the game with a triple and scored the first run, finds himself standing on second base to start the second inning. Tucker Rudd reached on an error and drove in Schwab in the first inning to take his cuts. Once again has a runner in scoring position. That ball's outside, 1-0.
Schwab doing everything you want a leadoff hitter to do.
Creating havoc, getting on base.
Starting the inning.
Yep, forced to throw. Swing and a miss at that one, 1-1. Excellent pitch there from Dodson.
Healthy cut from Rudd.
Yeah, didn't get cheated there. 5'10", 150, Rudd from Mississippi. Ball gets away from the catcher, Castillo, and Schwab goes easily into third base.
Folks, it was a rough start for the Rip City Raiders yesterday as well, but the last 3 innings they played, in the last inning they put together 5 or 6 straight base hits, which you don't see too much. So they'll be battling. They'll keep fighting.
That'll be good enough to get the run in. Let's see if it falls. Does not.
Nice strong
Great
throw.
throw, wow. Throw brings the catcher into the base path, but he's unable to make the play. Schwab scores the 8th run of the game. Rudd with the RBI sac fly.
Center fielder had to come a long way to get that ball. He got to it, made a nice strong throw to the plate, almost got him.
Malachi Perez there. Good strong throw. 1 out here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. 8-0 lead for the Rawlings Tigers. That'll bring up number 44, Connor Simpson, the extra hitter today.
Walked in the first.
And scored a run. That ball's inside, 1-0.
Dotson looks in.
That ball also in, 2-0. I believe Simpson walked on a 4-pitch at-bat in the first inning, so I don't know if he's seen a strike yet.
Absolutely.
There it is. He swings at that strike. 2-1.
A.J. Kelly telling the batter, number 44, to wear those 4s like a sweater. I love it.
Two one is on the way. 2-2. Dodson called in a tough situation last inning. Battling his way here. Ooh, nice pitch, but low. 3-2.
Dotson now with the 3-2.
Simpson grounds it to first base. First baseman
gobbled it up.
Yeah, he did. He stayed on it. Brennan Niles with a very, very good play there. Keeps it in front of him. Steps on
3 unassisted.
That'll bring up the other first baseman, Ethan Jones. Jones also walked in his first plate appearance. Two outs here in the bottom of the 2nd inning.
Ethan Jones had him a hit yesterday. Tell you what, folks, regardless of scores in these games, the experience and the time on the big field here in a major league stadium,
playing under the big lights,
invaluable, and a hopefully great, easy travel trip for everybody. The Power Showcase is absolutely a first-class event. I invite you to go to thepowershowcase.com if you are unaware of it and look at all the benefits and the green screen pictures and just constant pictures and memories right here at Tropicana Field from Brian Domenico and the Power Showcase.
Dodson bounces one there. It's 2-1 here to Ethan Jones, right-handed hitter for the Rawlings Tigers. We're in game 2 of our 4-game day. How about a shout out to my buddy Mikey Paris here, who's going to go 8 games in 2 days.
And it'll be 10 in 3 days.
10 in 3 days.
It's almost like a job, Jared.
Almost like that. But you're at baseball and you're having fun. So.
This is absolutely fun. Having a great time in St. Pete. First-class setup all the way.
Reaches out for that one, but lines it straight to the third baseman, Hezekiah Rodriguez, for the out. So 1 run across on 1 error. 8-0. The Rawlings Tigers Black lead the Furia Rip City. We'll be back to Stream Live Tampa from Tropicana Field with the 3rd inning in just a few minutes. Well, Mikey, if we were in Vegas playing the slots right now, this would be a good time. 77 on the mound and 7 at the plate.
Sevens
That's
are
jackpot.
wild. Absolutely.
It's a jackpot. So Hunter Dodson steps into the plate here for Rip City. Looks at ball 1. Dodson, who was his team's 3rd pitcher in that rough first inning. Worked around the error last inning, did cost him a run, but let's see if his team can battle back and he can be the start of that. 2-0 count. That ball up as well, 3-0. Dodson's first at bat here in the 3rd inning. That one stays up as well for a 4-pitch walk, and Hunter Dodson reaches. That'll bring up the first baseman, Brandon Niles. First, we're going to get a visit from the Tigers pitching coach. Going to go out there and talk to Aiden Valente.
Garrett, I know you were a Florida State guy just like myself, and mentioned yesterday about the passing of Coach Bobby Bowden. 91, just a celebration of his life, really. Just a sweet, sweet, humble man. I went to Florida State from 87 to 92 and ran into Coach Bowden at a couple speaking engagements and just in a convenience store where he was putting peanuts in his orange soda. And I said, "Sir, are you putting peanuts in your orange soda?" He said, "You got to try it, old boy."
Just an amazing guy, and so many people sharing stories, and everybody who met him had an interaction very similar to that. He was a very gregarious guy. I was also at Florida State about a decade after you, but there at the same time, about the same amount of time, and got to run into him a couple times. Always a very, very, very nice man. I love seeing all the tributes from the other coaches.
There's so many things on Twitter and on the internet from people about Coach Bowden that you can't even read them all. I've got more homework to do just to go through and see everybody. So he touched just an enormous amount of people.
Absolutely.
So rest in peace, Coach Bowden.
The king of the living room. You got in your living room, and most likely that player was coming to Florida State for many, many years. Brandon Niles to the plate, the 10th hitter here for Furia Rip City on the day. No outs, runner on first base. Niles is about to look at a 1-1 pitch. Made a nice play there on a late chopper. Last inning, that ball got away from Valente a little bit. 2-1.
Be heading up in September for the Florida State Notre Dame game that opens up the season for the Noles.
Nice. Look forward to getting to some baseball games too next season. Our local Hillsborough County very well represented on Florida State right now on their baseball program.
Scalaro.
Yep. Jonas Scalaro coming back. Parker Messick. Going to be I think a sophomore. Swinging strike, 2-2. Sending him to the other side, okay. Brandon Niles waiting for the 2-2 pitch. Dodson takes his lead off first base. In on his hands, it'll go to second base. Second baseman will flip it to the shortstop. Shortstop will throw to first. Got one out there.
Got the lead runner.
Niles will reach on a fielder's choice. Good play there by Garrett Pierre, flipping over to Xavier Rodriguez. That'll turn the lineup over. Braden Vachon takes his cuts. He walked in the first inning, was thrown out trying to steal second. Valente checks over on Niles at first. Niles takes a couple steps back to the bag. Vachon looks at one up and away.
Valente ready to go now, 1-0.
That one's skied into shallow center field. Second baseman settles under it. Garrett Pierre makes the catch for the second out. Niles back to first base. That'll bring up the pitcher, Nick Smith. Or correction, the shortstop, who was the reserve pitcher.
The man with the plan, Brian Domenico, bringing us a sub right now for lunch for in between this second and third game. Thank you very much, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Looks at strike. Looks at strike one. Two away here. The top of the third inning. Smith hoping to get his team a little bit back in this game after a rough first inning. Ball breaks right in front of the plate, 1-1.
Two outs, 1-1 count, runner on first. And the pitch.
That ball's flied into shallow right. Right fielder Luciano Cesaro makes the catch for the final out. One man left aboard here in the top of the third inning. We are Stream Live Tampa. I'm Jarek Guthrie and Mikey Paris. We'll be back for the bottom half of the third after this. Hunter Dodson back out there for the Rip City squad today. He will face Landon Serrano, third baseman. Serrano drove in a pair with a single in the first inning. The Tigers got a big 7-run first inning to get things started, picked up one more run in the second. Just 3 hits, though, for the team, as both teams have committed an error. That ball is just outside, 1-0.
I said it yesterday, Jarrett. Serrano got a base hit off of a curveball. This Serrano is better than Pedro Serrano from the Indians on Major League.
Ball inside, 2-0. The first of two great Dennis Haysbert baseball roles. Also in Mr. Baseball with Tom Selleck.
Absolutely, I forget about that.
Played a president. Sells me insurance. Terrific actor.
That guy he has range.
Absolutely. Outside, 4-pitch walk drawn by Serrano there. First runner aboard here in the bottom of the third for the Rawlings Tigers. That'll bring up the shortstop, Xavier Rodriguez. Rodriguez walked himself in the first inning. Dodson's first pitch is outside, 1-0.
Alyssa Culver-Henrian chiming in on Facebook started with looking good behind the plate, and I was getting excited, but then it said looking good behind the plate, Tucker Rudd, the catcher. So.
Thought it was going to be a compliment, but it was ripped away from you.
Thank you for watching.
Runner takes off. He'll steal second base easily. Nobody there. Luis Castillo let it go. No one there. Think it might have hit Serrano in the rear end, but I think he's okay.
He's going to get a stolen base and a save.
Yep. Yeah, he stole on the first move of the pitcher, Castillo, even if one of his defenders had been there. Probably didn't have a chance at him there.
Did not.
Rodriguez with a runner in scoring position. He takes off again, and again a terrific jump. Takes third base with ease.
He's got that long stride. It's just a few steps for that young man to go from one base to another.
6'3", Landon Serrano. Base on balls. Single, couple stolen bases, and so far 1 run scored. That ball is called a strike, 3-1. Xavier wants to get a hit anyway. He didn't want to walk, so.
Absolutely.
Ball on the field. Let's see what the umpire does. Good play there by our umpire. Will Gallant picking up that ball that got away from the bullpen right as the ball was hit foul there. Stayed out of the way of Mr. Niles, Brennan Niles, the first baseman. Full count here, no outs, runner on third base for the Rawlings Tigers Black. He fouls that one straight back. Remains full.
Here's a 3-2 from the Trop.
Ball 4. Runners will be on the corners here for Luciano Cesaro. Back-to-back walks. See if Rodriguez has the same green light that Serrano's did. Looks like we're going to perhaps make another pitching change here.
We will. We're going to check on the pitching change. Stream Live Tampa at the Pro Series Power Showcase from Tropicana Field. We'll be right back.
Left-hander Alex Wells takes over on the mound for Rip City. Wells has his work cut out for him. Runners on the corners, no outs here in the third inning. He'll face Luciano Cesario. Strike one from Wells. Good start. Cesario struck out in his first plate appearance today.
Lefty on lefty battle here.
Runner takes off, ball is bounced. Easy stolen base there for Rodriguez.
Nice job by Castillo keeping it in front, though. Took it right off the mask. Keeps the runner at third.
1-0 to Cesario. 1-1.
Got that big bender over after he got in yesterday. He started settling down, and that curveball started to become very effective.
Ground ball to second base should bring the run in. Braden Vachon throws over to Brennan Niles for the out.
That's the kind of hit in the big leagues that gets everybody up off the bench and gives you a high five for getting that runner in from third base with less than 2 outs.
Doing your job, doing your job. This will bring up Garrett Pierre, the second baseman. He was hit by a pitch, which plated a run in the first inning.
Tattooed to left field, but right at the left fielder, he makes the play.
Rodriguez comes
We'll get
home.
the RBI.
Sac fly for Pierre.
2 strong baseball plays right there, getting runners in when you have the opportunity.
They're going to check the runner at third. Safe. Home plate umpire calls him safe. A good check at this point. It is 10-0. The Rawlings Tigers leading the Furia Rip City.
2 outs now, though, for Alex Wells.
Matthew Plank to the plate. Ball 1 to Plank. Plank walked and drove in a run in his first at-bat. I guess didn't drive in, walked in a run. That's going to be called a strike, 1-1. We got a 44, a 77, and an 88 on the Tigers.
Watching baseball or NASCAR?
Umpire called it on the swing, 1-2. Umpire having a little bit of fun with the Rip City coaches. Coaches asked for an appeal after he had already called it a strike, and coach said, "Oh, I thought you were just pointing at me." So that got a good chuckle out of the home plate umpire, Will Kistler. Heard the ping, folks, and that's going to be hit towards second base.
Pierre
makes a good play. Or no, excuse me, Vachon. Braden Vachon makes the play on that. That'll do it for us here in the third inning, but the Rawlings Tigers add 2 more to their total lead, 10-0. We are Stream Live Tampa here from the Pro Series Power Showcase 13 and Under World Championship. We'll be back in just a few.
Back at Tropicana Field, Mikey Parrish with Jared Guthrie in a 10-0 ball game, heading to the top of the fourth.
Luis Castillo up for Rip City here, the catcher. Walked in his first plate appearance in the first inning. He'll start off the fourth inning for his team. Looking to get on the board, just one hit for Rip City through the first 3 innings. Castillo swings and crushes the first pitch he hit. It sees a bounce to the wall for an easy stand-up double for the big catcher. Gets his team started off with an extra base hit. Might be just the kind of catalyst they need. As you talked about yesterday, they strung hits together late in the game, so let's see if they can do that and cut away at this big lead for the Tigers.
Put 5 together late in the game. They're starting a little bit earlier this time, so that could bode well for Rip City. So Samuel to the plate now. Samuel to the plate now.
Reggie struck out in his first at-bat. Breaking ball there. Doesn't hit its spot. 1-0. It's probably the hardest hit ball we've seen today.
That ball was tattooed to left field, absolutely.
Ball's outside 2-0.
He got a cookie a little bit up in the zone, and he jumped all over it.
Aiden Valente still pitching here for the Tigers. He's given up 2 hits, struck out 2. Just catches the outside corner there, 2-1.
Christian Alex Abila rooting on Reggie today.
Another hard hit ball. It's going deep to the gap in center field. That's going to be extra bases as well. Should bring it in the runner. Samuel's not slowing down. He's heading into third base easily with a stand-up triple. RBI triple. It's a big hit. Gets his team on the board. Dents that scoreboard a little bit, cuts the lead. It is 10-1 Tigers here. No outs, runner on third base. That'll bring up Hezekiah Rodriguez, the third baseman for the Rip City squad.
They're going to definitely need to put some crooked numbers up there to get back into this one, but that's a good start to do it with no outs still.
Tigers do have a man warming up down in the bullpen. Swings over the first offering. Rodriguez flew out to the third baseman in his first at-bat. See if he can have one of those productive at-bats like the Tigers did last inning. He gets hit in the back there. He'll reach first base. We'll have runners on the corners. I'll probably call out a coach. Nope, coach just walks out, takes a few steps out of the dugout and gives him the calm down motion. So we'll see. That'll bring up Malachi Perez here. Perez had had his team's first hit, a single in the second inning. This will be a good time for his second hit.
Absolutely.
Playing center field today, Perez. He skies the first one he sees, heading towards shortstop, Xavier Rodriguez. Has to track back on it, but makes a nice falling backwards catch for the first out.
Did not make it look easy, but he made the catch nonetheless. It's not how it's done, it's if you do it. For the first out of the inning.
That'll bring up Antoine Daniels. Daniels with 2 men aboard. They'll send the runner to second. Throw is high. Gets away from the shortstop, and that'll allow Reggie Samuel to score easily. To give a stolen base to Rodriguez, who advances all the way to third base on the throw that was high from Castillo and bounced off the shortstop's glove. He jumped, he made a good effort at it, but that ball was that was Tucker Rudd, the catcher.
Just a little too high. Good strong throw, just a little bit up.
So Daniels has an opportunity to bring in another run. That ball's up, 2-0. Daniels looks at one up, 3-0.
Starting to get some base runners now, and you're going to have them to climb back in it.
You pick up 4 or 5 in this inning, and it's a new game all of a sudden. That ball touches the strike zone for the first strike. 3-1 to Daniels. Daniels flew out to left field in his first at bat. And he sends one high into foul territory. Third baseman Landon Serrano makes the catch for the second out. Braxton Bullock will take his cuts. He struck out looking in his first at bat. Runner on third base, 2 outs here. Rip City hoping to keep this inning going after falling behind 10-0. They've cut it now to 10-2 here in the 4th inning.
Check on number 55 for me, Jared. I think Serrano may have moved to first, and we've got a new third baseman.
Okay.
Just to pump him up for a fine play on a ball that skied up into the dome, into the stratosphere, and he calmly made the play.
You're right. That is A.J. Shavara who's moved in from left field.
Shavara has moved in from left field. There we go. It's going to take us a second, folks. Again, we appreciate your patience. They make a lot of changes, and we're trying to keep up the best we can, but I knew that although he is tall, he is not Landon Serrano tall. But that was a fine play right there by Shavara.
And they're making changes, but not making it over to the announce table to tell us those changes.
Correct.
All right, a 2-1 count. That ball just missing on the outside black. Both umpires so far today have liked the up and in a little bit better than the outside in a way. That one a little bit too far out. That'll make it 3-1. Braxton Bullock at bat for Rip City. Bullock, a native of Texas, 6 foot, 145. Right-handed hitter. Stays away. And Bullock will reach on a base on balls. Got a new hitter here. That'll be the relief pitcher Wells, who came in relief of Dodson last inning.
Alex Wells.
Alex Wells will take his first cuts of the game.
Knocks in a few here, gets a little closer. Goes another inning or two. Could be in line for the win.
Ooh, you never know. You never know.
Well, the Rays have a big comeback yesterday.
Rays are hitting grand slams like they're on sale right now.
Exactly right.
That ball driven into the outfield for a hit. Wells does the job there, moves the runner from first to third and drives in a run. Good at bat right there for Alex Wells. Gets his team one more run. That'll drive in Hezekiah Rodriguez. and move Braxton Bullock over to third base. Good 2-out hitting, Mikey.
Absolutely. As timely as getting a sacrifice fly or a ground ball with a guy on third and less than 2 outs, the 2-out hit in RBI is even more of a backbreaker on the defense. So we're going to move some guys around here one more time, get a new pitcher in on the ball game. Take a quick break here from Stream Live Tampa and from Tropicana Field. Mikey Parrish said Jared Guthrie. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, folks. We had a pitching change. Garrett Pierre moves from second base to the mound. Made a couple other changes there as well. AJ, Alex Shavara, he moves behind the plate. See the number yet at third base. Coach is kind of blocking me out. But Alex Pierre takes over the mound with 2 outs here. 3 runs in the top of the fourth. The Tigers hold a 10-3 lead on Rip City. Brandon Niles steps to the plate for Rip City. Runners on the corners. He looks at strike one. Runner goes to second base. He's in easily. Testing the new catcher right away. Makes a good throw, but it
Strong throw. And
was a good, too good a jump to beat.
Absolutely. Yep. Made it a lot closer than I thought it was going to be.
2 in scoring position for Niles here. Niles reached on a fielder's choice in his first at-bat. Ground ball to the second baseman. That ball's inside, 2-1. That ball's up to Niles. 3-1. Pierre hoping to get his team out of this and keep the lead at a commanding 7 runs. Niles has other plans. He takes ball 4 to load the bases. Also, more importantly, turning the lineup over.
Back up to Braden Vachon.
Vachon 0 for 1 on the day. Did walk in his first plate appearance. Correction.
Another extra hitter has been added. This is Gray.
He skies a ball to the right side. Second baseman is underneath it. For the third out, Jake Gray flies out to second base. But Rip City does get 3 runs back there in the top of the 4th inning. Cuts the lead to 10-3. The Tigers will come up to the plate with their 10th through 12th hitters We are Stream Live Tampa. We'll be back from the Pro Series Power Showcase World Championship after this.
Back at Tropicana Field, Mikey Parrish along with Jared Guthrie. And now what is a 10-3 game. See if they can have a shutdown inning to get back in there and keep those sticks going for Rip City. Trying to catch up on some changes that have happened in the field. So we'll throw it over to Jared Guthrie now for the play-by-play.
And we have A.J. Shavara, who moved to catcher last inning. Moved to third base first and then catcher, so he's been multifaceted.
He might be umpiring next inning.
Could be.
Keeps getting closer to us.
Will Kistler might let him take an inning or two, yeah. Shavara struck out in his first appearance in the first inning.
We'll try to run it down here for you for the left-hander in with a 3-0 count.
Alex Welk pitching for the Rip City. Came in last inning. Also got that big RBI single. Helped his team out. That's a fly ball. Fouled off. Looks like the first baseman.
Nice play.
Castillo, who moved from behind the plate to first base, makes an excellent play there.
Any ball that goes up into the roof here is definitely a mess. Absolutely.
So quick first out, foul ball to the first baseman Castillo. Got another change in the batting order here. Eric Abbott steps to the plate. He'll replace Max Cowler. Eric Abbott looks at strike one.
Catches that inside corner. A fine play by the first baseman, Luis Castillo.
Really was. Good rolling stop. Held on to the ball. I almost feel like Welk called it, and then he got called off.
He was worried
late.
about running into the base runner, and Castillo came in out of nowhere to make the play.
Abbott, 6 foot, 140 pounds, from Mississippi.
Fouls that one straight back.
I like, you don't see this very often at this age group, listed as a PO, but taking his swings.
Absolutely.
Doesn't have a secondary position listed. That ball bounces in front of the plate. 2-2. Perhaps trying to get him some at-bats and get him comfortable after he replaces Cowler, who had a 2-run single in his first at-bat. He swings over the first one, tagged out for the third strike.
Nice curveball there.
Aiden Valente steps to the plate here. Struck out in his first at-bat. Started the game at pitcher. In line for the win right now. Nice pitch there, 1-1. Good slider there from Welk. That one misses its spot, 2-1. Valente looks at strike two.
Here we go with a 2-2 with 2 outs. And like we said, Rip City trying to get back in that dugout. Keep the bats going. Just missed outside.
Full count now. Two outs, payoff pitch, driven to second base. Throw over to Castillo for the third out.
Good to see.
Clean inning there for the 1-2-3 clean inning there for Rip City. See if they can tack on a few more, cut this lead. It is 10-3 Rawlings Tigers against the Rip City, or excuse me, the Furia Rip City.
From Tropicana Field, Mikey Paris. We'll be right back after a few minutes.
And we're back here at Tropicana Field, about to kick off the 5th inning. Nicholas Smith, steps to the plate for the Rip City Raiders. Smith flew out to to right field his last out bat, flew out to shortstop in his first. Looking for his first hit. Strike one, says umpire Will Kistler.
Rip City looking to add on 2 or 3 or even 4 more to really make this a ball game. And that's a good way to start.
Nice hit there from Nicholas Smith. Sends it down over the third baseman into left field. Leadoff single for Nick Smith. Luis Castillo, we saw make that great play off of first base in the in the bottom half of last inning. Steps to the plate. He led off the 4th with a big double. Got his team started when they scored those 3 runs. So let's see if he can keep it going. Woo, good throw over to try and get Smith. Smith just in under the tag there. Excellent throw. Hard hit ball into left field. Settle under for the out. 1 away.
Just got under that one for Castillo after driving one to the wall at his previous at bat.
Max Cowler out there in left field makes the play. Garrett Pierre still on the mound here for the Tigers. 1 on, 1 away in the 5th inning. This will be Reggie Samuel. Reggie with a big RBI triple last inning.
Ball shot to the gap in left center field and rolled to the wall easily. Pierre with a close eye over at first base.
Smith with a big lead. Extends it with a little bit of a walking lead. 1-1 here on Reggie Samuel. Runner takes off. Breaking ball. He's in under the throw. Stolen base for Nicholas Smith.
Perfect pitch to run on.
One and 2 is the count to Samuel. Runner moves over into scoring position. That's going to freeze him up there. Strike 3 called. 2 away here in the top of the 5th. That'll bring up Hezekiah Rodriguez. As Mikey mentioned in our first game, we're putting together the all tournament name team, and Hezekiah Rodriguez, he's going to be on there.
He will be on there, no problem. That's fantastic.
And he hits one hard to left field, but it's going to drift foul and end up over there just in the 162 porch.
162 landing. I think I'm breaking out my Evan Longoria jersey for tomorrow.
Of course, game 162, and Longoria put one right around that pole to send his team into the playoffs and eventually into the World Series. That ball is lined into center field. That'll fall. Let's see if they send Smith. No. Oh, ball got a little bit away. I think Smith's gonna be mad at himself there. The coach didn't really stop him, but didn't really send him. And if he would have kept going, that ball got away from the center fielder. He would have scored easily. But single for Rodriguez. Runners on the corners. That'll bring up Malachi Perez, the center fielder.
If you ever have a chance and you haven't seen it on MLB Network, they have a show called One Crazy Night in Baseball. Everything that happened that night broke the Rays' way in the strangest ways possible for that to happen. It's a very interesting 30-minute show. with rain delays and teams playing before us, then after us.
Some West Coast teams, right? Yeah.
Big comebacks, big blown leads for other teams allowed us to get into the playoffs that day.
Runner takes second. Delayed steal at home, and he gets in easily. Nick Smith scoring, showing off that speed there. Rodriguez draws the throw down to second base. He steals that base. And then the delayed steal by Smith. Cut the lead again. It's now 10-4 in favor of the Rawlings Tigers.
Rip City just trying to crawl their way back, inch their way back.
As you said, after they fell behind yesterday, they didn't give up. They're a team with a lot of fight in them. So
Absolutely.
we'd like to see that. Malachi Perez looks at a strike, 1-1. Runner takes off for third. Another good throw down, but he gets in. Rodriguez, his third stolen base of the game.
Hits him 90 feet away. 1-2 count.
Perez had that infield single to the pitcher there in the
Wastes a very good pitch right there, right on the outside corner. He just gets a piece to stay alive to see another pitch.
and Perez there with the infield hit to the pitcher in the second inning. He lined out to shortstop in his second at-bat. See if he can get his team to half the lead. Nope, swings over that one for strike three. But Rip City does get one back here in the top of the fifth. Cuts the Tigers' lead to 10-4. We'll be back from Tropicana Field in the Pro Series Power Showcase after this. Welcome back, folks. We appreciate you watching in, the folks on Facebook and on YouTube. We are Stream Live Tampa. I'm Jarrett Guthrie with Mikey Paris. We're here for the bottom of the 5th inning. Alex Welk returns to the mound for the Rip City Raiders. Leadoff hitter Jeffrey Schwab for the Tigers. Schwab's reached twice, had that big triple to start the game off, first pitch triple. Reached on an error in his second at-bat, has scored both times. Tigers, the Rawlings Tigers with a 10-4 lead here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Alex Welk, as he did yesterday, came in to settle things down a little bit. And now he's trying to keep it right here to allow his team to get back in, try to throw some more runs up there, and you never know.
Also a big part of that 3-run 4th inning for his team, driving in a run.
Absolutely.
Does walk Schwab on 4 pitches there. That'll bring up Tucker Rudd, who started the game as a catcher, now as an extra hitter. Rudd's driven in a run in both of his at-bats, had an error, reached on an error in the first time, and had a sac fly in the second inning. That ball gets slightly away from the Rip City catcher and allows Schwab to take second base. Runner goes to third. He's under the tag. So just like that, he started the game with a triple and gets to third base with relative ease.
A walk turns into a triple. He's on third base.
Tucker Rudd awaits the 2-0 pitch. He skies one. That's going to stay in the infield. Castillo's calling everybody off, and he makes the play. Schwab returns back to third base. Castillo's done a good job on a couple balls up into the dome here at Tropicana Field. That one stayed just inside the the foul line. So excellent play. He moved from behind the plate to first base last inning. Connor Simpson looks at ball one. Ball gets away from the catcher and allows Schwab to come in and score his 3rd run of the game. That'll make it 11-4.
So Welk with 1 out and a 1-0 count.
Connor Simpson
to the plate.
walked and scored a run in the first. That ball's inside 2-0. Swings over that one, 2-1.
Just want to correct something I may have said earlier, too. There will be 4 games again tomorrow. Everyone will play a consolation game, and then the championship game will be the late game for the day. So spread the word to all your relatives so they can watch everyone play again tomorrow, starting at 9:15, 9:30.
Simpson fouls that ball off, evens it at 2-2.
Big slow curve, stays in.
Rip City coaches are all smiles, but I think they wanted that call pretty bad. Payoff pitch, and it's away. Connor Simpson reaches on a walk, his 2nd walk drawn of the day. That'll bring up Big Ethan Jones. Jones also walked and scored in his first plate appearance of the day. Lined out to third base in the 2nd inning. Calls for timeout there. The umpire grants it.
I'll tell you what, it says 6'1", 195, but he looks bigger than that.
I think he's bigger than that. I definitely think he's taller than that.
Absolutely.
Doesn't check in time. Umpire calls a strike. and then tells the coaches, I'm not pointing at you. I'm calling it a strike. I love it. They're enjoying it.
A fun day at the office.
Runner takes off. Stolen base there for Simpson as the ball bounces in. Ethan Jones awaits the 1-1 pitch from Welk. Welk misses there, 2-1.
Going to finish out this half inning, I believe, and that will be it because of the time frame.
Runner takes off to third. Good strong throw, but he beats it. Connor Simpson with his second stolen base. The Tigers have been aggressive pretty much throughout the whole game. But I guess in both games we've seen today, runners were pretty aggressive. That
Absolutely.
ball gets away. Simpson was kind of flat-footed there, so he didn't go. The ball didn't get all the way back to the backstop. Probably a good decision there as Welk was well on his way to the plate to cover it. Three and two. Ethan Jones at the plate. Jones hits one hard to shortstop. It'll bring the run in.
Nice play.
Nick Smith throws it across to Castillo for the second out of the inning. But that will do it for you. The game.
2-hour time limits, strict time limit, so we can keep on schedule for our remaining 2 games of the day. Go ahead and wrap it up, Jarrett.
Rawlings Tigers take this one 12-4 behind 3 hits. That big triple and run scored started the game off well from Jeffrey Schwab. Some good timely hitting and some patience at the plate. They drew a lot of walks. They were very aggressive. For Rip City, they had 6 hits, scored 4 runs. You know, put together that 3-run 4th inning, but just couldn't claw out any more runs. So 12-4, Rawlings Tigers Black defeats the Rip City Raiders. We're Stream Live Tampa. We appreciate you guys watching with us this afternoon. Come back for the next game in about 30 minutes.